Sapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Sapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishna te namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to remove all our ignorance, to lead us from the darkness to light, to give us freedom, to give us the experience of the vision of God, the Holy Mother, to give us peace and joy in life. Today's topic I am speaking on Sri SaradaDevi, who was born in the month of December on 22nd in the year 1853, and she lived on this earthly plane for about 67 years. She attained Mahasamadhi on July 21st, 1920. During her period, she set a model, an ideal for all the women. She showed the path to peace. She showed us the way to conduct our daily life. She showed through her life how one could practice spiritual practices while engaging oneself in household duties. So, we are very blessed to remember her life, to remember her teachings, to practice what she had instructed. We will be celebrating Sri SaradaDevi's birthday on 21st of this month. There will be special puja, special bhajan. So it is very significant that we should dwell upon the Divine Mother, who came and lived like ordinary human being. She was looking very ordinary outwardly, but she was extraordinary inwardly. Well, great Sri Ramakrishna, great is the mother, SaradaDevi, who was Sri Ramakrishna's partner, the equal partner. She was the personification of purity. She was full of peace. If you see her photograph, the first thing you will recognize seeing her is remarkable peace, profound understanding, excellence and perfection. She was duty conscious. Her dynamic personality, her dynamic spirituality was infused with philosophic wisdom. In her, there was a perfect blendness of strength and mellowness. She was sympathetic to all. She was thoroughly selfless. Holy Mother is a source of power. Sri Ramakrishna referred to her as his own Shakti. What the scriptures describe, Adi Shakti, Parashakti, Mahashakti, Divya Shakti. It is Divine Mother, Holy Mother, Sri SaradaDevi. And how well she controlled that power. Her principal message is well known to everyone. Don't find fault with anyone if you are really aspiring for the peace of mind. If you practice this one teaching, your life becomes blessed. You get fulfillment. You get illumined. You get everything that is joyful. This remarkable message bears testimony to her strong character. Picking out faults and criticizing others only brings bitterness and betrays weakness in our own character, by which we deprive ourselves of the higher path in life. If you are really aspiring for spiritual life, this moment onwards, stop picking out fault. Your spiritual life should start from this wonderful teaching. This is a firm foundation on which you have to base your spiritual life. Her power to forbear was revealed in every day of our life. She always said, "My son, forbearance is a great virtue. There is no other like it." Holy Mother commanded the great respect of an intellectual giant like Swami Vivekananda. To him, she was mother. There is an instance. Once there was a plague epidemic in Calcutta. Lots of people died. It needed immediate relief works. Vivekananda started the relief work, trying to bring relief to the suffering people. That needed lot of money. What was to be done? It was very crucial to carry on the work. So he thought of even selling out the Belur Math property. His mind was thinking on that line. Nobody could dare intervene in this matter. It was Holy Mother, Sri SaradaDevi, who prevented Vivekananda from taking up such drastic step. She made him understand that this Belur Math would provide remarkable relief and peace to the suffering humanity all over the world. Her mere wish was a command to him. Whatever mother said, it was completely accepted 100%. No question, no argument, no debate. Through many bold decisions, her strength of character showed forth. Sometimes some senior devotees would raise objection, but Holy Mother would override such objections. He gave initiation. She gave initiation to a boy of 13 years old. She gave garva cloth, sannyas, to a married man who decided to renounce the worldly life. For Holy Mother knew that that person had chosen the right path, and that person would be a great monk, which actually turned out to be so. In her early life, when she knew her husband was ill at Dakshineshwar, she walked all the way from Jairambati to be with him. Several miles. Those days there were no roads, proper roads even. It is very Herculean task to go from place to place. When she learned that Sri Ramakrishna's state of mind was not madness, but was spiritual exaltation. She at once adapted herself to his way of living and herself became a spiritual giant. She had tremendous power of thought and will. In order to conduct affairs properly and thoroughly, one should learn to cope up with stress and to combine and organize family responsibilities and office work effectively, and to relax as well as be efficient. We should be sensible, practical minded, and learn to take risks. Also, we should learn to inspire others working for us. For all this, confidence, love, respect for people, openness, and assertiveness are required. All these qualities needed for the effective management of a large and demanding household were manifested in the Holy Mother's life. Holy Mother, while an ideal nun, she continued to live in the life of a simple woman while managing her huge household and nurturing the young order of Sri Ramakrishna monks for 33 years. She was instrumental in integrating the whole order through her keen insight and active interest in all its activities. Yet, even in the midst of most depressing and trying situations, she managed to be her calm, poised, magnanimous, and spiritually powerful self, and take bold, incisive decisions. But in fact, she was always a mother. Her universal and expansive sympathy always tempered her sense of discipline and propriety. Her practicality and managerial ability was reflected most obviously in her personal life. She used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for her prayer and japa. Then during the whole day, she kept busy with household chores like dressing vegetables, cooking, serving the food, and looking after household and the large number of devotees and people who came to her for spiritual counsel. She consoled bereaved people. She was a constant source of encouragement to village men and women who needed advice and sympathy. Besides this, she gave spiritual initiation to a great many. She guided the monks of the Ramakrishna order. She visited various centers of the Mutton mission in India. She dictated replies to letters. Everything was done by her with utmost perfection. She supported a large number of her relatives and made the necessary arrangements for the marriages of her foster daughter, nieces and nephews. Purposelessness or laziness were totally absent in her life. Sometimes delicate questions which even the great monks and seniors of the order could not solve would be dealt with easily by the Holy Mother. She would give clear solutions to the problems and appropriate decisions. Only a divinely illumined and yet practical-minded soul like Holy Mother could do that way. At one time, Sri Ramakrishna's devotees, the monks, they wanted to keep Sri Ramakrishna's photograph for worship in the Advaita Ashrama at Mayavati in Himalayas. Then a dispute arose about the propriety of it. Clearly, it was against the rules of that Advaita Ashrama. There should not be any photograph of anybody there. Advaita means non-dualism. But some of the monks missed having a shrine to perform worship. So the matter came up before Holy Mother. She wrote to the Swamis, well, one who is our Guru, Sri Ramakrishna, he is Advaita. Since you are all his disciples, you too are Advaitins. So the matter was thus settled that Mayavati was meant for Advaita alone. So nothing should be kept there. It was indicative of Holy Mother's spiritual power, of the fine discrimination and practical firmness of character, that she comprehended the problem and brought back harmony in a most convincing and pleasing manner. Modernity connotes a progressive and liberal outlook. Holy Mother's mind was endowed with courage and openness that can adjust. She encouraged education for women. When Nivedita started a girls' school in Calcutta, Holy Mother blessed her wholeheartedly. Sister Nivedita, Margaret Noble, the disciple of Swami Vivekananda, was overwhelmed with joy. She wrote in a letter, the Holy Mother tasted food with Mrs. Bull and Miss MacLeod, American disciples of Swami Vivekananda. This gave us all a dignity and made our future work possible. She really is one of the strongest and greatest of women. Like that, Nivedita wrote a letter. Once a lady came to Holy Mother and she requested Mother to talk to her daughter to marry. Holy Mother replied, well, if one is not inclined to lead a married life, one should not be forced the marriage upon that person. She should be encouraged to lead a celibate life. Many a time, mother said, why people worry so much about their daughters' marriages? Instead of sending them to Nivedita girls' school, Holy Mother managed to educate her nieces and many other women and girls of the locality. Excellence in any kind of work of the girls brought praise from the mother. Holy Mother welcomed the idea of Vivekananda starting the Ramakrishna mission in Sri Ramakrishna's name. She said, it is much better to work than to allow the mind to be lazy. Noticing this, my Naren introduced work without motive. Swami Vivekananda said, I want our women to be free, but not at the cost of their purity. Sri SaradaDevi was a very personification of purity, patience and love. Swami Abhedanand described her as Pavitrata Swarupini, the embodiment of purity. Her life teaches us that freedom means to save oneself from every wrong, identification and self-limitation. Freedom is a state of mind which is very clean about all notions, filled with truth, love and compassion. These are our rightful inheritance from Holy Mother. Gentle love governed the mother's entire being, and she embraced all men, women, birds and beasts, saints and dacoits alike. She would say, I am the mother of everyone. Sister Nivedita wrote, Dear Mother, you are full of love. And it is not a flushed and violent love like ours, but a gentle peace, a golden radiance that brings good to everyone and wishes ill to none. Her life gives us a clear definition of love. That love is infinite and indivisible and is absolute eternal truth itself. With unswerving patience, Holy Mother molded the character of her disciples. Mother used to say, to err is human, but only a few know how to lead an erring man. To serve and uplift everyone patiently was her mission, and she commanded respect and reverence from thousands of men and women. Sri SaradaDevi is a perfect model of a realized soul who led outwardly an ordinary yet inwardly an intense, meaningful life. Her life reflects the highest truth, and therefore she is a model of practical spirituality. An ideal not only for women but for a society suffering from spiritual malnutrition and material surfeits, from selfishness and egocentricity. Sri Sharada Devi conveys the spirit of sacrifice and self-abnegation. Her life is a live commentary of philosophical wisdom put into practice. Her personality integrated the universal consciousness into her own. That is the reason she always used to say, everybody is your own. Nobody is a stranger here. These are not mere words, but the realization of a person who has the knowledge of one, the pure spirit pervading everything. Really speaking, her spirituality is the source of her universal motherhood, purity, strength, and all the other qualities which enabled her to fulfill the mighty role of Sangha Janani, the mother of the Ramakrishna order, the Ramakrishna movement. With how much ease and grace she looked after the welfare of the Sangha is well known. Her calmness and poise, as well as spirit of renunciation and service, expressed in her day-to-day life, in the midst of the extremely distracting world environment, speaks of her spirituality. She towered over everything, everywhere, and everybody around like a beacon lamp of spiritual consciousness. The message of Sri Sharada Devi to the modern women is clear, that a real sense of fulfillment comes from living for a higher ideal, from looking upon all duties, however varied, as opportunities for greater self-development without losing their inherent femininity. Women can be strong, women can be successful, and they can be happy. For all, there Holy Mother stands, a great, shining, immaculate ideal, a consummate manifestation of spirit within reach of humanity. Holy Mother herself revealed at times about her divinity, about who she was. Once, it was evening time, Holy Mother was returning from Kamarpukur to Jarambati, a distance of about 3 miles. So she was walking the whole distance. Shivaram, Sri Ramakrishna's elder brother's son, escorted her. He was a boy. Those days, there were a lot of meadows, open meadows were there along the path. So they were walking. Suddenly, Shivaram, who was following Holy Mother, he stopped walking further. Mother noticed it and asked him, "What is the matter? Why have you stopped?" Shiva asked her, "Mother, tell me, tell me who you really are. The boy is asking that question. Unless you answer me in a straightforward way, I will not move from here. He seems to be determined. At first, Sri SaradaDevi tried to dismiss the question. She replied, "Oh, why am I? I am your aunt. Who else can I be?" But the boy was not satisfied by this answer. He declared, "No, I won't move from here unless you tell clearly." Mother argued. She tried to cajole him. She even begged him. She said everything she could think of, but the boy was adamant. When all her efforts failed, Sri SaradaDevi had to admit the truth about her identity. She told him in her characteristic cryptic language, "People say that I am Goddess Kali." Shivu, with a triumphant smile on his face, resumed his journey. He was completely satisfied. He wanted that assurance from his aunt. This seemingly dramatic event was the beginning of a revelation. Who is the Kali? The same goddess Bhavatarini, worshipped by Sri Ramakrishna. She is also called as Jagat-Tarini, the savior from worldly miseries. That's why Sri Ramakrishna not only worshipped goddess Kali, but ended up placing his last offering at the feet of Sharada, the mother of the world. Sri Ramakrishna knew very well that Sri SaradaDevi was the Divine Mother herself. Holy Mother was resting on a cot one evening in her Jairambati village home. There was a mild lamplight in the room. Radhu was sleeping by her side. A devotee had come to see the mother. He was sitting on the floor nearby. He was in a very contemplative mood. Something was bothering his mind. But he gave no indication of it. Just he was sitting in front of the mother. Holy Mother suddenly turned to him and asked, "Is there anything that is worrying you?" The devotee asked a surprising question. "Are you mother of everybody?" The answer, as surprising, came right away. "Yes, I am." He next asked, "Are you mother of all living beings, including animals?" Mother said, "Yes." Once she said, "You probably know that Sri Ramakrishna had motherly love towards everybody in the world. The Master regarded all creatures as manifestations of the Divine Mother. He left me behind to give expression to this motherhood. In fact, The extraordinary divine nature of mother lay in this quality of motherhood. She became mother to all, only to protect and uplift them. If mother doesn't take care of the child, who else will take care? The sweetness of her motherhood attracted both the virtuous and the wicked, the wise as well as the foolish, the rich and the poor. She is like the rain which pours to give life to nature, but wants nothing in return. What was the secret of Holy Mother's infallibility? In every matter, she hit the mark, that her judgment never failed. It was because of love. Learning may fail, love never fails. Rightly has it been said, all errors are the want of love. All errors of judgment, understanding and action are due to the want of love. This brings us to comment of Sister Nivedita. She calls the Holy Mother Sri Ramakrishna's own chalice of love for the world. It was indeed Sri Ramakrishna's intense, unfathomable love for suffering humanity, men and women in bondage, either social or spiritual, which was condensed and personified in the form of Holy Mother. He made the Holy Mother a receptacle and a conduit in and through which he could pour out his unbounded love for humanity, irrespective of caste, creed and nationality. Sri Ramakrishna had poured his own divine love into the Holy Mother's heart when she was, as a girl of 14 years, had for the first time after marriage an opportunity to live with him. Describing the experience, the Holy Mother used to say, "My heart remained incessantly so very full of an indescribable bliss that I have always felt since then as if a jar of bliss full to the overflowing was installed in my heart." The effect of this sense of fulfillment was far-reaching. It made her selfless and infinitely sympathetic to the sorrows and miseries of humanity. Sri Ramakrishna's compassion for humanity transformed Sri SaradaDevi by degrees into an embodiment of compassion itself. When Sri Ramakrishna asked her to look after the people wallowing in the mire of the darkness of ignorance, Holy Mother initially felt herself unequal to this task, but Sri Ramakrishna's love began to flow through her, and she emerged as the mother of all, saint or sinner, high or low. Further inpouring of this love occurred at the time of Shodashi Puja, when Sri Ramakrishna instilled into her spiritually awakened soul the nectar of love and bliss, which she had gathered by 12 long years of superhuman spiritual sadhanas for the welfare of humanity. To this, the Holy Mother added her own quota by doing 100,000 japa daily for years together. And then out of the fullness of her heart, a cry went forth like that of Jesus. "Come all ye that labor and leave thy burden on me. It is for us to respond to her call and run to her. The superhuman spiritual practices of Sri Ramakrishna inspires one to practice at least 1/16th of it to see God. Swami Vivekananda urges one to intense activity, to sacrifice one's life for the good of mankind. But Holy Mother wants us to relinquish even the ego of a spiritual aspirant or that of a reformer, and to surrender to her without caring for one's own salvation or the welfare of the world. And the balanced combination of these three, namely meditation, work and surrender, would conduce to the greatest good. This is the composite message of the Trinity. Holy Mother was always a source of hope and assurance to those who are conscious of their weaknesses. Nobody need despair. They are all welcome. Mother has special love for such people. She used to say, "Have no fear. I have taken upon me your responsibility. Remember always that you have a mother to fall back upon. When you are in distress, when you are in crisis, when you are in tension and stress, remember me. I will take care of everything. You will get peace of mind. Meditate upon me. Just remember me, that you have a mother." As an affectionate mother, she would stand out to them as their mother with a superhuman power of protection and elevation. Holy Mother emphasizes the personality of and advocates faith in the incarnation of this age, Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother repeatedly stressed the divinity, the goodness of Sri Ramakrishna, so that the disciples may have firm faith in him as their chosen ideal. Ultimately, it is faith and not reason which imparts stability to an individual. Faith is not belief. It is not mere reason. Faith is a grasp on the ultimate, as Vivekananda said. In the present age of crisis of faith, efforts for its recovery through the life of Sri Ramakrishna as shown by Holy Mother, therefore, all these three messages of the Holy Mother are related to the emotional or the affective aspect of human psyche. She therefore fulfills one of the greatest needs of the times by emotionally integrating and stabilizing man through inculcating faith in the incarnation power. But as long as man remains the recipient only, the process is not complete. He must not only be the receiver, but also become the donor of love, sympathy and consolation without which there cannot be true fulfillment. This the Holy Mother fully realized, and hence, although she was always ready to give, she always taught others to be givers of love, help and consolation in the return. So you would always say, Sri Ramakrishna has come just to uplift the humanity. So it is very important to understand the life and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Those who are aspiring for spiritual life will come to Sri Ramakrishna. Worshipping Sri Ramakrishna is same as worshipping any gods or goddesses. All gods and goddesses merge into Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna represents the Supreme Brahman, who assumes different forms, who assumes number of forms. He has infinite forms. He has come to the human level to show us the way. He has come to remove our ignorance about our true nature. He has come to instill love and faith in God. He had to come and show to us that God could be realized in this very life, and God could be seen, and it could be practiced by anybody. What is needed is sincerity. If you are sincere, if our spiritual aspiration is strong and firm, you are sure to reach the goal, and you certainly have the vision of God. What is needed is practical spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna came to show the practical way of spirituality. Swami Vivekananda came to show the practical Vedanta. And Holy Mother came to show the practical love. So, what is needed is just to follow what they have said. Follow carefully and live the life properly. Then you are sure to reach the God, and you are sure to receive the grace and blessings of Holy Mother. Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. O Mother Sharada, O Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, we take refuge at your lotus feet. We bow down to you again and again. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Thank you.